The National Electrical Code, or NEC, does not have a specific code requirement for equipment that does not switch to have an adequate withstand rating. The NEC focuses on the safe operation and installation of electrical equipment, primarily emphasizing the prevention of electrical hazards such as shocks, fires, and equipment damage. While it is generally understood that the equipment should be able to withstand expected fault currents, the NEC does not explicitly mandate specific withstand ratings for equipment that does not interrupt fault currents. However, it is important to consider several factors. Firstly, NFPA 70E, which stands for the Standard for Electrical Safety in the Workplace, is a widely referenced standard in the industry. It recommends that all electrical equipment be able to withstand the maximum available fault current at the point of installation. This recommendation is based on the principle of avoiding catastrophic equipment failure and potential hazards to personnel. Secondly, equipment manufacturer specifications are crucial. While the NEC does not have specific withstand rating requirements, manufacturers of electrical equipment typically provide specifications that include withstand ratings. These ratings are based on the equipment's design and testing and should be followed to ensure safe operation and avoid warranty issues. Thirdly, industry best practices dictate that it is generally accepted practice in the electrical industry to use equipment with adequate withstand ratings to ensure the safety and reliability of electrical systems. This applies to both equipment that switches fault currents and equipment that does not. Therefore, even though it may not be explicitly required by the NEC for a static switch, it is still prudent to ensure that the switch has an adequate withstand rating to meet the expected fault current levels at the point of installation. This will help prevent damage to the switch and potential hazards if a fault occurs. Refer to the manufacturer's specifications and industry best practices to determine an appropriate withstand rating for the application. When evaluating the withstand rating for electrical equipment, consider the following factors. 1. Available fault current. Determine the maximum available fault current at the equipment's location. This can be calculated using methods outlined in the NEC or through engineering studies. 2. Equipment withstand rating. Obtain the equipment's withstand rating from the manufacturer's specifications. Ensure the withstand rating is equal to or greater than the available fault current. 3. Overcurrent protection. Ensure that the overcurrent protective devices, such as circuit breakers or fuses, are properly sized and coordinated to protect the equipment from fault currents. 4. Coordination study. Conduct a coordination study to verify that the overcurrent protective devices will operate quickly enough to prevent the equipment from exceeding its withstand rating during a fault. 5. Documentation. Maintain thorough documentation of the available fault current calculations, equipment withstand ratings, and coordination study results. This documentation should be readily available for review and reference. 6. Regular inspection and maintenance. Implement a program of regular inspection and maintenance to ensure that electrical equipment is in good working order and that overcurrent protective devices are functioning properly. 7. Training. Provide training to qualified electrical workers on the proper selection, installation, and maintenance of electrical equipment and overcurrent protective devices. 8. Arc flash hazard analysis. Conduct an arc flash hazard analysis to determine the potential arc flash hazards associated with electrical equipment. Use this information to select appropriate personal protective equipment, or PPE, and establish safe work practices. 9. Industry standards and best practices. Stay up to date on the latest industry standards and best practices related to electrical safety and fault current protection. 10. Consider future expansion. When selecting equipment and determining withstand ratings, consider any future expansion or modifications to the electrical system that may increase the available fault current. Always ensure that electrical installations comply with all applicable codes and regulations. The NEC is the primary code for electrical installations in the United States, but other codes and standards may also apply. Consider also consulting with a qualified electrical engineer to ensure that electrical systems are properly designed and installed to protect equipment and personnel from fault current hazards. The specific requirements for withstand ratings can vary depending on the type of equipment, the application, and the local electrical codes. Therefore, it is essential to consult with qualified professionals and refer to relevant standards to ensure compliance and safety.